Real Housewives of Capitol Hill. That's a flashback of the contentious relationship between AOC and MTG, two members of Congress with three-letter initials who couldn't be more different from one another. Let's talk about that and more with senior counsel at the Lawfare Project, Gerard Filitti. Also with us, former U.S. New Jersey Senate candidate Alex Zdan. How do I say your last name again?
Zdan.
Zdan. Also, welcome to the show. This is your first time as a panelist, so I'm happy to have you. Also with us, retired NYPD Chief of Department John Shell, but you'll always be chief to me. So let's talk about AOC Mamdani's. I think AOC is Mamdani's new work girlfriend, and she spoke about MTG this week, and here's what she said.
Here's some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia, and Trump told her no.
Okay, so she's trying to create this narrative that there's this rift between MTG and Trump. Alex, do you buy it? MTG came out and said absolutely not. She adores the president and supports him. Your thoughts?
What I love about this is that the left is freaking out that Marjorie Taylor Greene is reaching out to the other side. They can't handle it. Marjorie Taylor Greene is acting in the past few weeks like a stateswoman, like someone who perhaps is getting ready for a presidential run, the new haircut, the new wardrobe, and the left can't stand it because they know that she can do exactly what Donald Trump did and change this country, flip places red. It's fascinating to see. Maybe there's going to be an AOC versus MTG presidential matchup in 2028. Could be.
Well, I say let's have let's have MTG go up against AOC and Jasmine Crockett as her running mate. That would be amazing, right? So let's Hakeem Jeffries. He was on this morning on Meet the Press, and he was asked about Mamdani and all the free giveaways that he's been promising during his campaign. And here was Jeffries' response.
Well, he's going to have to work with the Rent Guidelines Board and probably more importantly with the governor of the state of New York and the state legislature in order to enact those proposals. But I do expect that the legislature, of course, and the governor are going to meet him in good faith, try to negotiate a path forward.
All right, Chief, what do you think about this? Mamdani, free buses, free this, free that, free. He said he called the NYPD. What did he say about the NYPD? That
they were anti-queer.
When their boot is on the neck of it's laced by the IDF. Well, you got in your papers in early. So
he said a lot of things, but I think Governor Hochul's not going to negotiate in good faith. She's going to negotiate to get reelected. So there'll be no free buses. There'll be no tax raises. So his policies are dead from the get-go. So where's he going to get that money from? I hope it's not from my taxes. Trust me on that. In terms of his rhetoric towards the police department, well, he apologized on one show, but you're on the record, and you're on the record with the DSA that you don't like police, and the DSA would rather not have police in the city at all. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen, but like I said in a couple of shows this week, it's a recipe for disaster. But let's see what happens January 2nd when his rent is due.
Yeah, well, he's going to be in Gracie Mansion. Isn't that funny?
I don't know.
Free subsidized housing.
Is he going to live in Gracie Mansion? I heard his wife doesn't want to live in Gracie Mansion.
Really? That's some tea right there.
I heard she wanted to stay in Queens with the people.
That's some tea right there.
I'm not going to admire that.
I mean, and you know what? They could have a lot of people come in and move there. So why not?
Homeless people.
Homeless people, yeah. He talked about the government taking over people's private property. Why not take over Gracie Mansion, you know? So, Gerard, what do you think about what Mamdani is promising? Already thousands of cops already handing in their papers, right?
There is 4,000 cops that can leave in January. Some by reports already handing in their paper. Other agencies are recruiting. Houston, Miami, and ICE is recruiting. So it's on the table.
I'll make a plea right now to NYPD officers: don't leave the city. We need good cops here. We know what Mamdani's going to do. He's going to bring in social workers to run the police department. He's going to cut funding.
Why Kumbaya's not going to work if we hold hands together and just pray the crime away? That doesn't work.
And that's the problem. We've also got a prosecutor.
Yeah,
you know, we don't prosecute criminals either. So we can't have Kumbaya when there's crime, when there's violence like there's never been before in New York. We need police to stay. Because Mamdani will be gone in 4 years, but New York will be a disaster if they don't.
And I feel for those cops who are staying. They have a very tough job ahead of them.
But who's to blame for all of this? Who's to blame for Mamdani winning? Who's to blame for Mikey Sherrill winning? Who's to blame for that guy Jay Towns? Is his name Jay Jones? Jay Jones in Virginia that wished death upon his opponent's children. Who's to blame? Women like me. Women like me. Woke, I'm not woke, but women that look like me tend to be over 35, 40 years old, but even the young women, but even women my age, I get a lot of hate online. I got relatives that get upset in comments on my thing. So let's talk about the woke women and how they're the driving force in a lot of these elections. Under the guise of empathy and equality, they're voting for people that are actually, their policies are against them.
But at the end of the day, it is also incumbent upon us conservatives to make the counter argument. Let's take a look at Mikey Sherrill, for example. Mikey Sherrill said she was going to freeze utility costs in New Jersey on day one. She can't do that. The Democrat governor said she can't do that, but she won because she identified a concern people have. She addressed an issue and she said, here's how I'm going to fix it. You know who else did that in 2016? Donald Trump, when he identified illegal immigration as a problem and said he would build the wall and have Mexico pay for it. That's the message here. That's the point. Your message needs to validate people's feelings and suggest a simple solution.
Affordability is a new word.
Affordability
is a new word going into the midterms. Your electric bill, your food bill, everything is sky high, but how are they going to fix it? So in Mamdani's case, he needs the governor, and like I just said, he's not raising taxes.
He's got city council.
We're not getting free buses. That money's used to pay for things in this state and city. It's a pipe dream that's not going to happen. So again, where's the money come from? Is it coming from my property tax now? Where is it coming from?
Look, I wouldn't be so optimistic that it's not going to happen because Mamdani does have a New York City Council. The Republicans lost one seat. The progressive faction is growing. So there's a lot that he can do just with the New York City Council to increase taxes and to make these cuts to services that we need and divert money somewhere else. Going back to the original question, who's to blame? All of us. It's the education system, a large part of it. Look at who turned out for Mamdani and who turns out for socialist candidates, first-time voters, young students. Why? They're learning this in school. It's being normalized in school. It's being celebrated in school. We need to take back the narratives in school.
And Cuomo is also a horrible candidate.
He was a horrible
Cuomo's a horrible candidate. He looks
candidate.
like Dracula. He's old. It's time to hang it up, Cuomo, if you're watching this right now. And that's why I could not believe so many Republicans. I was on the radio for 3 years at WABC Radio. I railed against Cuomo. And then you have those same people that said Cuomo belongs in jail. He was killing grannies, slapping fannies. And then they're saying, go out and vote for him. Come on.
If it was Mamdani versus Cleveland, maybe it would have been a different outcome.
What else is sad, too? They celebrated the 2 million people that voted. But there's 5 million that were eligible. There's 8 million in this city. More people are going to come out and partake in votes.
Exactly.
You celebrated 2 million. It sounds like a nice number, but it was still woefully below the whole who could vote and the whole demographics of the city.
So maybe the answer to your question is we should blame the people who stayed home.
People